What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Let me fix this fucking camera angle. Raw TV. Something I want to discuss today is a part of recovery, and that is rest. Not just rest on your days off, but rest between sets. Rest on your days off is important because you need to let the central nervous system recover, which recovers slower than the muscular system. Now, you can actually train every muscle every day, and you're going to actually be able to recover muscle-wise. Okay, so if you had a low enough volume, low enough intensity, you can train every muscle every day. Francis Benfado used to do that. The IFBB pro bodybuilder who used to compete in the Olympia, who was from France. That's how he used to train, every body part every day. And I thought he was fucking nuts until my trainer Phil Hernan had this specific routine he was having us try out, which was every body part every day, until you get to a certain point where you felt like you were just extremely tired and drained. Then you took a day off. So essentially, you were training the muscles until the central nervous system got fried, and then you took a day off. Now, that's one type of rest, okay? The other type of rest that I think is the most important that gets, I don't know, misconstrued. I don't know where the fuck this came from, but rest in between sets. People all the time are like, Jerry, how long should I rest between sets? Well, first of all, there's no magic number, okay? When I first bought the Big Beyond Belief book, they actually had rest periods in there labeled. Like, it would be like 1 minute for this, 2 minutes for that, 30 seconds for this, whatever it was. And we would have like a stopwatch, and we would time ourselves. We would try to see, make sure that we hit the reps, the rest, like everything was exactly as the book had told us to do it. Now, fast forward, I don't know, 20 years or something like that, I realized that there are different rest periods that people use for different reasons. Now, Jay Cutler was able to do I think it was 30 to 40 second rest periods between his workouts. Now, a lot of people started incorporating this around, the late 2005, 2004. They were training very quickly between sets because they're like, oh, I got to burn more calories and make the sets more intense. That was the whole premise behind it. I think what a lot of people forget is that Jay Cutler would do this huge amount of volume and was extremely strong, and the reps that he was doing were constant tension reps. I mean, he was doing a certain thing for his body that worked really well, and he was doing it twice a day. That's not necessarily going to do the same thing for you. So now what happens, you have a lot of people following this, like, I rest 1 minute between sets because I want to increase my metabolism. Well, let's back up a second. What increases metabolism? Your workouts don't necessarily increase your metabolism. If you're doing a 2-hour workout, I've seen people do this shit all the time, they don't look any fucking different. They don't get any leaner, they don't get any bigger. So obviously, the shorter rest periods, the more you do, doesn't necessarily mean the better you're going to get. Now, here's how it really works, okay? Like, you get in the gym, and you get in the bench press, and you do a set, you do 100% intensity, and you crank it out, and you fail on that set, you get up there, positive failure, and fucking start, oh, done. You're done with that. You stand up, like you're breathing heavy, sight's all fucked up, like you feel like you just did a heavy set of squats, right? Now you sit down on the bench. Now, if you get up 60 seconds later to go back and do your next set, there's no fucking way you can put that intensity in there. The energy substrates haven't recycled and replenished for you to be able to do that yet. Okay, so essentially you're kind of depleted when you go into that next set. So you're actually going to give less than 100% on that next set. Now, each additional set you do, you actually start to get less and less percent that you can push. That's bad for metabolism. That's bad for muscle growth. That's bad all the way around. Would your heart rate go up? Yeah. You burn some extra calories? You have a big fucking deal. Just because you burn a few extra calories doesn't mean that's going to make you a better bodybuilder or a better person. When you really boil it down to it, burning an extra 50 calories during your fucking workout ain't going to make that much of a difference. However, if you sat down and rested, I usually tell people to wait till your heart rate comes down, like you can feel when you're ready to go again. For me, I don't even know how long it takes, but I know when I'm fully rested. When I go back to do that next set of bench presses, the second set, next thing you know, I have full intensity again, full strength again, and be able to crank out a set again with the same weight, same intensity, same reps, fail on it again, boom, you get up, you're all fucked up again, you feel weird, you're breathing heavy, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. That is stimulating metabolism. That is stimulating muscle growth. By the time you get to that third set, you're probably, even no matter how much you rest, you're probably not even going to be able to get the reps that you had gotten on the first two. More than likely, you won't be able to. You'll be pushing as hard as you can, but you'll notice the energy starting to wane. That means that your body is essentially starting to get depleted. You pushed it as far as you can. Anything further, you're not going to be giving it 100%. You're definitely going to be taxing your central nervous system. But the point is, you needed that amount of rest to be able to push that hard for those sets to begin with. Now, if you're resting 60 seconds between sets, although you're breathing heavy the whole time, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually getting the muscle to be stimulated. Okay, yes, you may be breathing heavy, but so fucking what? If I do 100 jumping jacks in fucking one time, I'm going to be a little winded afterwards. If I do 25 burpees, I'm going to be winded. Doesn't mean I built any fucking muscle, nor does it mean I stimulated metabolism, or did I lose any fat. It means I breathe heavy. My body needed more oxygen. I fucking yawn sometimes. My body needs more oxygen. It's not a whole lot fucking different than that. Your body needs more oxygen and tries to get it in there. It's trying to get more oxygen to produce energy. It's not trying to get more oxygen to build muscle or to burn fat. It needs energy because you're trying to do something fucking strenuous. So, understand that, there's all these different things that go into, how the muscle is stimulated, how metabolism is stimulated, how things work in general as survival mechanisms, as actual biological events that happen, and chemical events that happen in your body due to it being a living thing, and not some made-up fucking myth about the faster you train, okay, which the faster you train, the more calories you burn, the leaner you get, the less cardio you have to do, the higher your growth hormone goes. That's all bullshit. You know what really increases growth hormone and testosterone? Training to failure, pushing yourself as hard as you can in a shorter period of time, which means like 45 minutes or less. They noticed after an hour the testosterone and growth hormone stuff to actually decline. But that stuff is stimulating metabolism, protein synthesis, muscle growth, growth hormone, testosterone. All those things are stimulated by training harder, not necessarily faster. Okay, it's not about how fast you train. And by when, let's face facts. If you're doing CrossFit, then you're going to probably not want to rest that much. They have these events where it's like boom, 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 boom. That's a whole different ballgame. But you're trying to build muscle and get leaner. You're not worried about performance. Performance sports, is CrossFit a sport now? It's, all right, whatever. I think it is. So CrossFit sports like, football, explosive strength, basketball, long distance fucking track, explosive running and track, CrossFit, all these different sports, that's not the same as training for a bodybuilding competition. It's not the same as training for a powerlifting competition. Well, I don't train for powerlifting anyways, but the bottom line is you're not training for a physique. Your physique is a byproduct of your training for those other events. But if you're trying to build muscle and lose fat, you need to rest. You need to let the body replenish its energy sources. You need the body to replenish ATP again, creatine phosphate. You need all that stuff to replenish. You need the lactic acids to go down and get flushed out so you can continue to push. You need the heart rate to come back down. If your heart rate keeps going up and you're pushing, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to fatigue even faster. You need the heart rate to come back down to be able to push it back up again. Like, these things need to happen and be in place for you to even get to where you're wanting to be. So I think that this stuff gets overlooked a lot, and I think that some people just don't fucking understand it. You go get your information from a forum like fucking bodybuilding.com or some shit, and next thing you fucking know, you get these myths and lies and bullshit that just, I don't even know where the fuck it comes from anymore. I don't know if like one person said it fucking 20 years ago, and for some reason it fucking ran the gambit all the way down and winds up in these fucking forums. And you got these young guys talking about, well, they say, oh, Jared, I can only do, I do the first set with 10 reps, and the next one I can only do 3 reps. And the next set I can only do 1. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, how the hell is that possible? How long are you resting? 25 seconds. I'm like, why are you resting 25 seconds? Trying to keep my heart rate up so I can burn more calories. And I'm like, where the fuck did you hear me say that in the program? When I wrote you in the program, where did you see me say that? Did you see me say that at all? I said, rest till your heart rate comes down. Right? And they're like, well, it does come down. No, it didn't come down. It comes down like fucking 1 beat. You need it to come back down, not the baseline to where you're resting, but let it go from fucking, 180 beats down to like 130 beats or something like that before you go again. I mean, I guess you could be checking your heart rate too, but I mean, the bottom line is you got to be aware that muscle stimulation, food, the diet, cardio, rest periods, days off, sleep, supplements, drugs, all these things are what gives you every piece of that puzzle you need to be the best that you can possibly be. One of those things is missing, you may be better than you were, but you're not the best you could possibly be. Biohackertraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biohackertraining.com is a blog, and this is the rest of the little longer bicep, and we're out.